Alrighty, YouTube. I am Dr. Know-It-All, and this is Dr. Know-It-All Rides. Anyways, there's a storm brewing coming into Colorado today. It's supposed to snow for the next 3 or 4 days, so I decided to take the VFR over and put some fresh gas in it so it doesn't gum up the carburetors. Anyways, the topic I wanted to talk about right in the day was, it's a biggie. DRM, digital rights management on video games. Now, I understand why everybody says DRM has to exist, blah blah blah. People rip off and pirate games, blah blah blah. And the companies feel that this is the only way they can protect themselves from being basically, ripped off and their games taken for free. But in my experience in gaming for a long, long time, I've never had heard of it ever stopping anyone from stealing a game. I've only heard about it stopping the people who paid full price for the game. It's stopping them from being able to play for the game they paid for. In the past history of DRM, usually within the first hour to 2 hours the game's out, somebody's already figured out how it contacts the home servers to make sure it's a legitimate copy, and they've already gone ahead and overwrote that, or patched it. So it's no longer a problem for anybody that wants to download the game or torrent it, but anybody that may have their internet connection down that legitimately bought it now can't play what they paid for, while everybody who didn't pay for it is playing it just fine. What I kind of wanted to talk about this today was Simcity. EA, of course, has a long list of franchises it has successfully driven into the ground, including a lot of my BioWare favorite games over the years. That being said, it's just unfortunate for SimCity. They came out and said, hey guys, SimCity's going to have Origins DRM, and you're going to have to be always online to play this video game. And everybody's like, yeah, well, that's kind of how it's been, whatever. As long as if our internet goes down, we can keep playing it. Well, EA then came out and made the comment, well, if your internet's down, you're not going to be able to play it at all. And of course the internet exploded, and there's a lot of DRM games that are like this. And so EA, to cover their butts, essentially came out and said, oh, well, the reason it won't work offline is because it has to do some calculations for the video game on our server. There's some server-side calculations occurring that won't be done on your host computer. Which to me, it's just a totally nonsense reason for them to essentially make you use their DRM. Anyways, I refuse to buy it. I love SimCity. I played SimCity since the original. I even played the console versions in 2000. And unfortunately, I just decided not to. I'm just done with the DRM. I'm not going to give EA my money and be locked out of my video game that I paid for, and needless to say, I didn't buy it. And SimCity came out last week or early this week, and sure enough, nobody's been able to play it. It's already up on all the torrent sites, yada yada yada, and the guys who paid $60 for it, or even more for the digital edition, they can't play it. And now, to try and get their servers stable, they're taking out features. So, it's just totally ridiculous. I do not know where these companies come from that they think, oh, it's okay to lock somebody out of what they paid for. Can you imagine if you bought a car, if you bought a new Ford, and Ford was like, yeah, you can only start the car if it can connect to our servers, and you have to prove you're the owner, and that would stop all car theft. Well, yeah, but every time Ford servers went down, you'd have a 4,000-pound brick sitting in your driveway that you couldn't drive anywhere. And that's exactly what the gaming companies are trying to get away with. So, anyways, I just think DRM's a bunch of crap. And EA, I know they're not loved in the gaming community for obvious reasons, including this one. It's just totally ridiculous to me that they don't use Steam, because if you guys remember a few years ago, everything they did was on Steam, and they decided, oh, you know, Steam taking a tiny little haircut out of their sales, that wasn't acceptable. They were going to spend all their money to go ahead and one-up Steam with Origin and use this whole new Origin client to run their DRM. But then that wasn't good enough that you have to have Origin Online to play Battlefield 3 and a lot of these other games. Then they had to even take the DRM so far that they're going to offload calculations that your CPU could be doing and go ahead and you know, have it do it on their server. So you basically have a $60 piece of code on your hard drive that doesn't do anything. Oh, that's pretty cool. There's a news chopper up there. Anyways, guys, that was my DRM rant. It's just unbelievable to me that these game designing companies and publishers, and that they get away with this. I mean, if they were in any other industry, keeping you from your product after you purchased it, they'd be sued in court and they'd lose. But they expect us gamers, anybody that wants to play their video game, because some, you know, people pirate them or get them off BitTorrents or what have you, but the rest of us deserve to be ground over the coals to do this DRM, and I just think it's totally ridiculous. So anyways, give me your thoughts in the comments. Of course, there'll be a lot more to come here on Dr. Know-It-All Rides and the rest of the channel, and I hope you thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel, and I really appreciate you watching.